November 11th, 1942. Just before dawn, Stalingrad. The Volga is a dull strip of steel under a low winter sky, barely moving. Somewhere between the shattered Red October factory and the ruins of a worker's apartment block, a man lies still beneath broken brick and frozen dust. He has not moved for hours, not an inch. Not even when mortar rounds walked closer. Not even when the cold bit through felt boots and wool. You can almost feel it with him. The wind slipping through blown-out walls, the smell of burned oil and concrete powder, the distant clatter of a machine gun that no one bothers to answer anymore. In this city, noise means death. Stillness means survival. Senior Sergeant Vasily Grigoryevich Zaitsev watches a street that no longer looks like a street. It is a wound carved through rubble, crossed by shadows and hesitation. A German helmet appears for half a second behind a wall. Then nothing. Zaitsev does not fire. He waits. Across the ruins, German infantry from the 6th Army are learning a new rule of Stalingrad warfare. Daylight is no longer safe. By late 1942, the battle has collapsed into something intimate and cruel. There are no sweeping maneuvers here, no clean front lines. Just cellars, stairwells, shell holes, and rooms torn open so violently that inside and outside have lost their meaning. The Germans call it Rattenkrieg, rat war, a fight measured in meters, sometimes inches. And somewhere inside this maze, a single rifle shot has begun to change how an entire army moves. Zaitsev is not alone, but he is becoming known. Word spreads first in whispers, then in official tallies. A kill here, another the next day, then 2 more. Soviet political officers begin writing his name down. Not because they care about one sniper, but because numbers matter now. Numbers can be shaped, numbers can be used. Zaitsev had been a hunter before the war, stalking deer in the Ural Mountains. He learned patience there, distance, stillness. In Stalingrad, those skills translate with brutal efficiency. His weapon is a standard Mosin Nagant rifle, fitted with a PU scope. Nothing exotic. What makes the difference is how he sees the battlefield. He does not hunt men as targets. He hunts behavior. German soldiers are trained, disciplined, experienced. Many are veterans of Poland, France, even the early victories in the Soviet Union. But Stalingrad is different. Here, any movement draws attention. A careless step, a cigarette ember, a silhouette framed for half a heartbeat in a window. Zaitsev watches patterns, who moves first in the morning, which positions rotate guards, which officer steps forward to check progress. He waits for certainty, then the shot. Clean final. One sound, quickly swallowed by the city. At first, the Germans assume they are facing several snipers. That is the only explanation that makes sense. No single man could be responsible for this many losses in such a confined area. Patrol reports come in describing unseen fire and invisible Russians. Officers mark dangerous sectors on maps already cluttered with red grease pencil. Then something subtle begins to change. German units delay movement until fog rolls in. Runners take longer routes, hugging walls, crawling when they should be walking. Officers notice that replacements hesitate at doorways. Men refuse to cross open ground unless absolutely ordered to do so. Daylight attacks stall not from enemy fire, but from absence. No one wants to be the first to step out. Fear in Stalingrad does not arrive screaming. It settles quietly. Soviet command notices the effect almost immediately. Frontline reports mention German inactivity during daylight hours. Sniper teams are suddenly prioritized, encouraged, organized. And at the center of this effort, Zaitsev's tally grows. 22 confirmed kills, then 40, then more. His name begins appearing in Red Army newspapers, printed and distributed to units across the city. Political officers read the numbers aloud, not as boast, as proof. Proof that the enemy bleeds, proof that the ruins can fight back. Zaitsev is uneasy about it. Publicity draws attention, and attention draws countermeasures. He knows this instinctively. Every shot teaches the enemy something. Every success invites a response, and the response is coming. German command does not ignore patterns for long. In the headquarters of the 6th Army, reports pile up describing a sniper with uncanny consistency. The kills are too precise, too regular. Morale complaints begin referencing the Russian sniper, as if he were a single lurking presence rather than a rumor. Officers demand action. The city is already consuming men at an alarming rate. Now it is doing something worse. It is paralyzing them. A decision is made quietly. If the Soviets are turning a sniper into a weapon, then the weapon must be neutralized. Specialists are discussed. Counter-sniper doctrine is dusted off. Somewhere far from the rubble, a German marksman is selected for a task that will never be officially recorded. Back in the ruins, Zaitsev shifts his weight slightly. just enough to ease the pressure on his shoulder. The street remains empty, too empty. He narrows his eyes. Stillness can mean fear, or it can mean a trap.